Hey everyone, it's your girl Sanj. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all, I hope that you are having a beautiful day, and if you're not, I hope that this video encourages you because we are going to be talking about 10 ways that you can live a more peaceful life. And y'all, life is crazy out here, okay? 2020 in itself, need I name names? Has been a lot, and there's just so much that happens on an everyday basis that can cause us to feel like we're losing our peace. Honestly, y'all, at the beginning of this year especially, I was feeling so not grounded. I was anxious all the time. I was stressed all the time. I was short with my husband, and I really just was not my best self. And so over the past couple of months, especially as I've been spending more time at home, I really have been leaning into these habits I'm going to share with you, and they have been helping me create a more peaceful life, and I'm feeling just like infinitely better. So I wanted to share those with you. If you are new here, good to see you. Go on and hit that young subscribe button. Okay, we have a good time over here. And we'll get right into it. Okay, the first habit you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is to pray about everything. Y'all, this has been such, I can't even emphasize how big of a game changer this has been for me, because everything means everything. It means when you're irritated, it means when you're feeling good, it means when folks are texting you back and you need them to. All of those little stressors we experience on a daily basis, we can bring those to God, and that's what He tells us to do in His Word anyway. And as we cast that burden on Him, He is so faithful to give us His peace in return. And y'all, this has been game changer and so grounding. So that is a great habit to cultivate. The next time you feel tightness in your stomach or your neck or wherever it is that you feel stress, take that as a signal to pray about it and do that right then and there. The second habit that you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is to consume less media and create more. And what this means, when I say media, I'm talking about social media, TV and movies, news, all not bad things, good things in fact. But when we're spending all of our time consuming and we're not creating anything, it can sometimes cause us to lose our peace, especially since, there's all kinds of things going on in those different mediums that can cause you to feel some type of way. So the next time that you are spending a couple hours watching TV or spending some time scrolling on social media, balance that by doing something creative. And that's different for everybody. That can be cooking, that can be writing in your journal, that can be dancing a little bit, something where you're using your creative energy and creative expression. And that is something that helps to balance out that consumption, and it does create the base for a more peaceful life. The third habit you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is to strive to be at peace with everybody as much as you can. And this one is not perfect, right? Because there's so much that we can't control. But as much as possible, try to minimize conflict in your relationships. Actually, I shouldn't say minimize conflict because conflict is healthy. What I mean is make peace when there is conflict. So if you have, lingering issues with people, go on and make those right, okay? If there's something you need to apologize for, go on and, apologize and then move on. But making sure to be at peace with as many people as you can is going to help you to feel more peaceful and have a more peaceful life overall. The fourth habit you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is to wake up 2 hours before you have to be on. And what I mean by that is sometimes on means you need to be at work. Sometimes on means, somebody needs to see your face on Zoom. Sometimes on means you need to be functioning to say hello to your husband or your kids or to your roommates, to your parents, whatever it is. So if you give yourself 2 hours, before you have to do any of that, you're able to have a slow morning and you can pray, you can sip tea, you can get organized, you can spend extra time on your makeup. Whatever it is you need to do, you're able to give that time to yourself before you give yourself to other people. That is a great way to cultivate a more peaceful life. And I say 2 hours, y'all, because some folks, y'all be getting up, you don't have to be on until 11 o'clock. So I'm not telling you gotta stay or get up, I should say, at 5 or 6 a.m. Just 2 hours before whatever you need to do. The fifth thing you can do to live a more peaceful life is to cultivate a peaceful hobby. And there are all kinds of hobbies out there, but some of them are more peaceful than others. Some that I have been finding particularly grounding are puzzles. I may have mentioned that earlier, but they focus my brain on one thing, and it's so satisfying to see that piece click in. Cooking for some people is stressful, but for some people that's something really peaceful. Painting is incredible. Really anything on the art side of things tend to be peaceful. But also maybe it's woodworking, maybe it's knitting. Whatever it looks like for you, having a hobby you can go to when you need to just, get your piece on is really a game changer in terms of having a more peaceful life overall. The sixth habit you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is knowing that you don't have to keep up with all of the trends. Y'all, there are so many trends on any given day, whether it's fashion trends, whether it's social media trends, and there's nothing wrong with them, but it can get exhausting trying to keep up sometimes. There is trendiness, which is cool, and there's timelessness, which I personally have found to be more peaceful, because timelessness means that I'm moving on my own time, y'all, and I'm not trying to keep up with the pace of culture, whatever that looks like. So I would say if you're finding yourself feeling like you're in this rat race of trying to keep up, release yourself from that pressure of having to be on top of every trend, having to be, at every hot thing, and just let yourself be timeless, because timelessness never goes out of style. And honestly, I will say I be on my own time and it feels really good. The seventh habit you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is to set healthy boundaries with people and things. Y'all, boundaries, I used to cringe at the word, to be honest, but learning how to set boundaries hasn't been easy, but it has brought so much more peace to my life. And so sometimes that, like I said, people and things, because you have to set boundary with both things. Maybe you need to set a boundary with your phone and say that you're only going to spend an hour a day on Instagram, or you're going to put it away after dinner so that you can be more present with your family. That's a boundary that can create more peace. Maybe I'm somebody who talks on the phone a lot, and I love that. And there's times where I have to give myself a boundary of how long I'm going to talk on the phone so that I can be present at home. Sometimes you got to set boundaries with people and say, hey, I love you so much. But when you talk about X, Y, and Z, it makes me feel X, Y, and Z, and I ain't trying to feel X, Y, and Z. Being true to what you need to be your best self, that's really what boundary setting is, and it's essential to being able to live a peaceful life. The eighth habit you can cultivate to live a more peaceful life is to walk. Walk, walk, walk. We spend so much time driving and moving fast, which again, there's nothing wrong with, but there's something about walking that is so grounding, so organic. Whether you're walking around your apartment complex, walking around your neighborhood, even taking a walk on your lunch break at work, it can really just help ground you and center you, and you see things so much differently when you're walking as opposed to when you're driving. You might find yourself taking in more of your surroundings more, or noticing new stores that you didn't even realize were there. So walking and incorporating that into your daily life somehow is going to help you create a more peaceful life. The ninth way that you can cultivate a more peaceful life is to keep your environment clean. And I truthfully am guilty of not doing this a lot of the time. And I've been holding myself accountable to it more. And I can say, like, life at home has been so much more peaceful. I'm not like sitting on the couch feeling some type of way because there's dishes in the sink, even though I'm the one who's supposed to be doing the dishes at night. So keeping things clean as much as possible, it just clears, I don't know, there's something psychological about having a clean space and having a more clear mind. So especially in your home environment, do that, because again, it's not about being perfect, but trying as much as possible to keep things relatively clean will create a more peaceful space at home. And the 10th and most important way that you can live a more peaceful life is to give the wheel to Jesus. Y'all, as long as we are trying to control everything in our lives, we're never gonna have peace. And there's something so freeing about surrendering your life to the one who ordained it from the beginning and who knows what's best for you. That is really what brings true peace. Carrie Underwood said it best when she sang, Jesus, take the wheel, okay? Because when we let him do that, it frees us to be us, and it frees him to be God. And those are two, let God be God and let you be you, and let him lead. That has been the biggest, I think I said praying was the biggest game changer, but this is really like the source of praying. And it will change your life. Change your life. So I hope that these tips were helpful to you. Please let me know, comment below if there's anything you would add to the list, or if you have any questions about anything. Love, peace, and blessings are coming from me to you, and I'll see you here next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all.